Okay, for this next portion, we're going to cover part 2, and this is the point slope form. I'm going to show you the point slope form, but I'm going to show you another method as well. Will have an option on this. If you remember from high school, which you probably don't, it's just that's what we do, right? We get through it and we're done. The teachers in high school like to show a different format for finding this, and I'm going to show you both as an option. You could do either one. It is totally your choice. I find that some students prefer the other method as opposed to the point slope form, but I am going to show you both, and I will rotate which ones I use for each problem that I do. You choose which one you like, stick with it, and use that method. If you need help, please let me know. So the point slope form, and this is a formula, and it's y minus y sub 1 equals m parenthesis x minus x sub 1. Here's what you need to know. M is your slope, and x sub 1, y sub 1 is an ordered pair. It is a point. All right, it is a point. Y will stay y, x will stay x. The only things you're going to be substituting are the y sub 1, the m, and the x sub 1. All right, so that's it. We'll start with this one. Based on the given information, find the equation of each line in point slope form. Then use point slope form to write the equation of the line in slope intercept form. Okay, there's a lot going on there. So it passes through -4, 9 with a slope of m equals 7. Using the point slope form, we're going to use y minus, and you need to understand this is x sub 1, y sub 1. So y minus 9 is equal to m, which is 7, times x minus x sub 1, which is -4. All right, we're going to simplify this first. Leaving it as y minus 9 for now. This becomes x plus 4. All right, we're solving for y is what we're going to want to do. So we're going to distribute that 7. This is point slope form right now. Exactly where we're at, this is point slope form. Because you want it simplified. Now, to go ahead and solve for y, put it in slope intercept form, we have to do some algebra. We have to distribute that 7 to both the binomial. Y minus 9 is equal to 7x. 7 times 4 is 28. Still solving for y. We need to get rid of this -9, so we're going to add 9 to both sides. Y equals 7x plus, looks like 37. This is the y-intercept form. Actually, it's the slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form. There we go. All right. That's it. Let's do another one, just like this, before I show you the other method. All right, just to make sure that you can follow. Passes through the point 10, -4. Now remember, this is x sub 1, y sub 1, and has a slope of -3/5. All right, so y minus y sub 1, which is -4, equals slope -3/5, and then x minus x sub 1, that is 10. We're going to clean this up a little bit. Y plus 4 is equal to -3/5 x minus 10. This is one of the ones that I would tell you to use the other format. It would be easier, but that's okay. Maybe I'll use this example to show you the other format. The first thing I'm going to do is distribute. -3/5 times x is -3/5 x. -3/5, a negative times negative is a positive. 3 times 10 is 30. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Now we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. Y equals -3/5 x plus 2. There is the slope intercept form. Okay. Let me show you why this other method would be easier for the ones that have fractions for the slope. The other format is y equals mx plus b. Literally, it's what we already know. It is taking the y and the x, and in the place of those two, you're going to put the 10 and the negative 4. The 10 will go where the x is, the negative 4 will go where the y is, and the slope will go where the m is. You'll be solving for b. That's it. I'll show you. So where y is, you'll put negative 4. Where m is, you'll put negative 3/5. Where x is, you'll put 10. And you're solving for b. You're solving for the y-intercept. Okay. This one, we can just go ahead and multiply these. Typically, I would tell you to multiply both sides of the equal sign by 5, or every term by 5, and get rid of the fraction. This cleans up nicely. Let's pretend like it doesn't. Let's do this how I would normally have you do it, because this is a very rare occasion that it works out nicely. So if you were to do this on a regular basis, and you've got a fraction for a slope, I'm going to tell you to multiply every single term by the 5. Let's go ahead and multiply the negative 3 times 10 first. So negative 30 over 5 plus b. Let's pretend like these don't equal out nicely. So then I'm going to tell you, okay, to get rid of that 5, we're going to multiply 5 but to every single term. And I taught you this a while back, many moons ago. And then 5 times b. All right. So this becomes negative 20 is equal to negative 30 plus 5b. See that? These crossed out. We have no more fractions. Solving for b, we're going to add 30 to both sides. 10 equals 5b. And then solving for b, divide both sides by 5. b is equal to 2. So your line, your y equals, m is still negative 3/5 x, but your y-intercept is plus 2. Either way works, totally your choice. This would have been easier had I just divided this, but I wanted to show you the steps that you would have to take on a regular basis. This is very rare. Okay. So the next one, we have passes through 2 points, and we want to find the slope-intercept form. Well, before we can do that, we need to find the slope, because we don't know what slope is. All right, find the slope. Remember, we have to use, and put this on your note card if you haven't already, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I'm just going to label my points real quick. x1, y1, x2, y2. M equals y sub 2 is negative 1 minus y sub 1 is negative 4 over x sub 2 is 1 minus x sub 1 is negative 2. Clean this up a little bit. Negative 1 plus 4 over 1 plus 2 is 3/3, which is 1. Negative 1 plus 4 is 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. So that is just 1. Our slope is 1. Now I can choose either one of these points. It doesn't matter which one. In fact, if I choose one, you choose the other one. And let's meet in the middle and find out what our slope-intercept form will be. I'm going to choose 1, negative 1 for fun. All right, since my slope is an integer, I'm just going to use the point slope formula. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to mx minus x sub 1. Y minus y sub 1 is, remember this is x sub 1, y sub 1. Y sub 1 is negative 1. My slope is 1. And then x minus x sub 1 is 1. This becomes y plus 1. Distributing, this becomes x minus 1. And then solving, we subtract 1 from both sides. Be careful, this is not, people look at this, they're like, oh, it's just 0. No, it's not. It's not. Y equals x minus 2. Okay. That's the point slope version, and we got it into the y-intercept form. All right. Go to the next one. It has an x-intercept of 4 and a y-intercept of -2. Okay, well, they're giving us some ordered pairs. We just don't have them in ordered pair form. X-intercept means that it's 4, 0, and y-intercept means it's 0, -2. Now we've got the ordered pairs. We need to find the slope. X sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Slope is going to be -2 minus y sub 1 is 0. And then x sub 2 minus x sub 1, which is 4. This becomes -2 over -4. Becomes positive, and then these both are divisible by 2, 1/2. Always reduce. My slope is 1/2. And then I can choose any, well, I don't even have to choose anything. My y-intercept's -2. So y equals 1/2 x minus 2. If we wanted to go through and do this in point slope form, y minus y sub 1, I need to choose a point. I'm going to choose this one because it's my y-intercept. Y minus y sub 1. What am I doing here? Yeah, okay. -2 equals 1/2 x minus x sub 1, 0. So this becomes y plus 2 is equal to 1/2 x, once we distribute it, because 1/2 times 0 is 0. Subtract 2 from both sides. Y equals 1/2 x minus 2. There's always at least 2 ways to do something in math. Very rarely is it not. Okay, the next one passes through the point -2, -7, but is parallel to y equals -5x plus 5. Well, if it's parallel to this line, that means it has to have the same slope. What is the slope for this one? It is -5. So using x sub 1, y sub 1, and we've got our slope. Y minus y sub 1 is -7. M is -5. X minus x sub 1. Let's simplify. Negative and negative is positive. Let's simplify before I distribute. X plus 2. Now we can distribute. -5 times x is -5x. -5 times 2 is -10. Lastly, we need to solve for y by itself. Subtract 7 from both sides. -5x, when the signs are the same, you add them and keep the sign. All right. Passes through -4, 2. Those are my points. X sub 1, y sub 1. And perpendicular to y equals 1/3 x plus 7. So if it's perpendicular to this, that means the slope of this line is 1/3. My perpendicular line needs to be the negative of that, and then you're going to flip it 3/1, which is -3. Y minus y sub 1 equals m x minus x sub 1. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit first. Distribute my -3. And then solve for y. Okay, I am going to go through, because I did say I was going to do the other version, just so you have it. So I've got my x and my y. Where my y is, I'm putting 2. Where my m is, I'm putting -3. And you don't have to do this version. This is just an option. X is -4. And we're going to solve for b. Negative times a negative is positive 12 plus b. Subtract 12 from both sides. B is -10. So y equals -3, x minus 10. That's doing it without fractions. That's it for that video. I will see you in part 3.